So dear students, is my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So yesterday we talked about data acquisition system. What is shortly we will see revise the whatever we have done yesterday. So as the name suggests, data acquisition, it is acquiring the data. Now what data to acquire? The input data from the input sources. So we will be needing sensors and transducers to convert one parameter from another parameter. So either you may need transducer, or you may need alone sensor, or you may need both sensor and transducer. So So it will convert the physical parameter, one form of energy into another form, but the level of that output may not be sufficient to drive the further circuitry. So here you will be needing signal conditioning. So in signal conditioning, what we do, we amplify the signals, and suppose if there are some unwanted signals, then we filter also. So all this process is called as signal conditioning, which we do over here. Then this analog data, amplified analog data, is given to analog to digital converter, which converts the analog data into digital data, and then it becomes easy to process the digital data with the help of microprocessor or microcontroller. And then afterwards, for displaying on the output device or having the actual output, you again convert the digital data into analog data, or you may not convert it, you may just directly give this digital output to the LCD display or LED display, etc., to output the data. So this is what about we have seen about data acquisition system. And yesterday we talked about two types of DACs, that is weighted binary and R2R ladder. And we have seen some parameters of analog to digital converter and digital to analog converter. So one parameter which is common, important for both of them, is number of bits. That is, we have seen how number of bits affects. So if you have 4-bit converter, then how many levels you will be having? 16 levels. That is from 0 to 15. If you are having 8-bit converter, then it will have 256 level, that is from 0 to 255. So likewise, if you increase the number of bits, then your levels will increase and your resolution will improve. That means you can measure smaller quantity of the data. Like yesterday we have seen this particular table. Suppose if you have 4-bit converter, then 4-bit converter means it will go from 0000 to 1111. And suppose if you have maximum level of 5 volt, then for 00 it will give you 0. For 0001 it will give you 312.5 millivolt, and so on. And so for last level you will not get full 5 volt, but it will be 1 LSB less, because we started from 0, we have not started from 1. So it will always be less than 312.5 millivolt if your maximum scale is of 5 volt. So this is how we have seen like how this works. If we go for larger scale, that is, take one example. Yeah, here it is. If you take the maximum range of 10 volt, then the resolution will be 625 millivolt. And the last value will be 1 LSB less, that is 10 minus 625 millivolt. So it will be 9.375 millivolt. So if you increase the full scale level, then your resolution will improve. If you increase the number of bits, then your resolution will improve because the levels will improve. So here you can measure maximum of 625 millivolt at one step. Suppose if your input occurs as 10 millivolt, then it will be confused what output to give, whether it is 0000 or 0001. It may give you 0000 or it may give you 0001, which is an error. But we have to tolerate with that because your resolution is 625 millivolt only. It can sense only the difference of 625 millivolt. It will not be able to sense lesser the difference. So this is how matters your number of bits and your full scale value and your resolution of measurement, etc. So this is what we have seen in DACs, weighted binary and to our ladder. Now we'll talk about, there are two types of various types of A to B converters, like successive approximation, delta sigma, dual slope, pipeline, and flash. But in your syllabus, two are mentioned, successive approximation and delta sigma. So let's start with successive approximation analog to digital converter. So if you see the block diagram, you will see that here it is successive approximation register. And you see that here clock is applied. This is end of conversion signal. Each and every ADC will give you this end of conversion signal, which tells you that the conversion from analog to digital data is over. And now whatever is digital data available at the output pins, you can refer that particular, you can use that particular digital data which is for converted data for that particular analog signal. So in many of the ICs, it is this pin is written as EOC, that is end of conversion, or this pin is written as ready, etc. So there are different nomenclatures, but you can have any, but it simply indicates that it is informing you that the conversion is over now. Now we are talking about analog to digital converter, but to convert the analog data into digital converter, inside we've used D2A converter, and that's why yesterday, instead of directly going to ADC, we have first studied DAC principles, like how digital data is converted into analog data. So inside every ADC we use DAC. At least in successive approximation case, we use DAC inside. Now it depends upon number of bits, how many bits you are using. If you are using 4-bit, then it will be D0 to D3. If you are using 8-bit converter, then it will be D0 to D7. And for this particular D2A converter, you need to have one reference voltage. And this is your voltage which you want to convert into digital, Vin. This is your sample and hold circuit. This is the comparator. For comparator, the one output is your Vin, and another output is the output of D2A converter, that is analog data from D2A converter. So depending upon the output of the comparator, this successive approximation register works. Now how it works, that we'll see. First, you understand the terminologies. DAC means digital to analog converter. EOC means end of conversion signal. ACR means successive approximation register. SH means sample and hold circuit. Vin means input voltage, and V reference means reference voltage. So you have sample and hold circuit to acquire the input voltage Vin, because when you receive the input voltage, it may continuously changing. So you have to have sample and hold circuit to hold the first input, so that the input under conversion will not change. So to hold that, first you have to give it to sample and hold circuit, and then maybe next you can after this whole conversion, you can acquire the second input. So this is the job of sample and hold circuit, to hold the previous data, to hold the data under signal under conversion. Now, next is your analog voltage comparator that compares Vin to the output of the internal DAC. It shows that it is comparing Vin with the output of the D2A converter, and the output results of the comparison to the successive approximation register. This diagram shows that this output is given to the successive approximation register. Then you have a successive approximation register subcircuit designed to supply an approximate digital code of Vin to the internal DAC. What this is doing, this SAR is doing the giving the approximate digital code of this particular data to DAC. Now we'll see this in detail also. And then you have an internal reference DAC that for comparison with V reference supplies the comparator with an analog voltage equal to the digital code output of the SAR. Now, let's see, suppose if we can go to the link so that we can observe the animation. I don't know whether I have provided you with the link. Okay, it's there. Copy, I will put it into chat box. Where is the chat box? Okay. Can you see this link in chat box?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see the page? Successive approach, this web page. Is it visible? Can you see this web page? I have clicked the link. Can you see this particular page? Anybody can answer? Can you see this particular page? Huh? Yeah. You can see this particular page? Yeah, okay. So can you see this animation? Just see this animation. Okay, if not, like we will first explain and then I will show you this particular animation. Okay. So screen is visible, isn't it? The screen is
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. So let's take one example where we were explaining we will take 4-bit converter, A to D converter. Then 4-bit means how many levels it will be having? 4-bit means
16,
how many
ma'am.
levels? Yeah, 16. From
16.
0 to 15. Yeah, from 0 to 15, that means 16 levels it will have. Now, how it works, that we'll see. The successive approximation register is initialized so that the most significant MSB is equal to a digital 1. That means suppose if you have 4-bit converter, then your MSB will be first kept as 1. Successive approximation will give the data as 1000. That means only 1 bit MSB, most significant, will be kept as 1. That means you are keeping at the half of the data. Because here what we are doing, we are comparing with the output of the D2A converter, our input voltage. So initially we have to give some digital data to this D2A converter so that it will convert into analog and these two signals will be compared. So what will be that initial data? What should be that initial data to D2A converter? So always first we keep the data as, if it is 4-bit converter, 1000, MSB will be 1. If it is 8-bit converter, then it will be 10000000. So always MSB is kept 1. That means at the middle of the levels or at the middle of the analog signal. So we do not know what is V in, but here we have kept the data, digital data, as 1000, and you have V reference. So this digital data is getting converted into analog data depending upon this V reference. So you will get some analog output. Now what will be that some analog output? It will depend upon V reference and it will depend upon your number of bits. How many bits, what digital data you are taking. So you are taking 1000 data. Just a minute. So we were talking about this. So now what we have done, we have first taken, we'll go step by step with this particular step so that you can understand it. So first we keep MSB as 1. Now because your input to DAC is V reference. So what will be the analog output of this particular DAC? If your input to this D2A converter is V reference, then with 1000, what will be the output of D2A converter? Yesterday we have seen D2A converter. So if your digital data is, if it is 4-bit converter and if your digital data is 1000 and if your reference voltage to this DAC is V reference, then what will be the output of D2A converter? 1000 means it is half of the levels. So half of the levels means analog voltage also you will get half. So it will at output of DAC, for 1000 it will be V reference by 2. The analog data will be V reference by 2 because the digital data is 1000, that is middle of the levels. If you see this particular table, you can understand. 1000 stands in between here. You start with 0000 and your 1000 is the middle level. If your maximum data of conversion is from 0 to 10 volt, then for 100 you will get 5 volt. And this is your final level, which is for 10 volt. If you see 5 volt table, then your 000 will correspond to 0 volt. 100 will be corresponding to half of the 5 volt, that is 2.5 volt. And 100 will be corresponding to the full scale minus 1 LSB. So here also in D to A converter, what is our reference? Our input is V reference, and we are supplying 1000. So what will be the output? It will be V reference by 2. So now your V in will be one signal to comparator, and V reference by 2 will be another signal for comparator. So it will compare. Compare means it will just tell you whether your V in is less than V reference by 2 or your V in is more than reference by 2. So comparator, suppose if my V in is more than reference by 2, then the comparator output will be positive. And it will, because V in is more, the positive terminal is more than the negative terminal voltage. So if my output is positive, that means my V in is more. So it tells the successive approximation register by giving the high signal that my input voltage is more, and the corresponding digital data which you had supplied is not matching with the input data. So please now increase the data. So what it will, because your input signal was high, it will just add one level more to this particular digital data. So it will add one particular level, and now your accordingly your digital to output analog signal will change. If your comparator gives you negative data, that means the digital data which you have taken is more than your input voltage. That's why your reference by output D2A output is more. So likewise you will compare, and how, when you will stop comparison for one input data, when both the signal matches. So when your input is, this V in is more, the comparator output is high, you will increase the digital data given to the D2A converter from successive approximation register. If your V in is less compared to this data, then you have to lower down this particular digital level. So this is what we do. Like when you see this animation, what I had given you in chat box, let me show this particular. Chat box. Okay. So can you see this animation? Here it is, some animation is running out. Can you see this animation? This particular animation? Anybody can answer, please fast.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So what it is telling you, that this is, let's say this is your V reference is 5 volt and your V in is changing. So when your V in is changing from 0 to 5 volt, the graph, the output will, the successive approximation successive ADC as an input voltage falls from 5 to 0 volt, iterations on x-axis, approximation value on y-axis. So this is your approximate value and this is your iteration on x-axis. So what it does, it compares both the thing. And when your input is matching with your reference, that time your this line will be at that particular, this point will be at that particular level. That means suppose if you are at 10 volt, this shows that like this point starts from, this is your middle line. So you have started with first level 2.5, and as your input goes down, this will go down. If your input goes up, this will go up. So this is how it shows you. Where is the screen? Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
So where it is now, the screen is at what level? Can you read the line? So can you read the line? What is the screen showing you?
As shown in the above algorithm.
Yes, yeah. So did you understand the concept? Like when we take V in is unknown to us, and we take internal in successive approximation ADC, you take internal DAC. 4-bit DAC is there, and you apply some V reference, any V reference to this. Now what you do first, initially SAR is giving you the half digital data. That means if it is 4-bit converter, it will range from 0000 to 1111, and half of the data is 1000. So here it will be 1000. So your D2A and D2A output will be referenced by 2. We reference by 2. Now you compare these two signals. The comparison will stop only when both the signals are equal, when the output of the comparator is 0. So when 0 goes over here, it tells the successive approximation register that you stop now. That means whatever digital data is available on these digital lines is equivalent to the digital output of this particular V in if your comparator output is 0. So this is the final digital data which is coming out from the A to D converter. Now but suppose if your V in is less than this particular voltage. So if it is less, means comparator output will be negative. And if the comparator output is negative, it tells you to reduce the value of digital data. It tells you that because V in is less, that and you have taken more digital data, so you have to reduce now the digital data. So successive approximation register will reduce the data by 1 level, and again accordingly the output of DAC will change, and again it will compare two signals. So this comparison will go on till the output of the comparator is 0, and when the output of the comparator it becomes 0, it tells that whatever digital data is available on these digital lines is the equivalent data of your analog to digital converter. So in successive approximation, you use internally DAC and you compare this particular D2A convert data with your analog signal of interest. And that's why when you get this particular end of conversion, that means comparator output is low, and whatever digital data is available on this line is your corresponding digital data for that analog signal. So is it clear? Successive approximation ADC. If you can go, I have shared you the link and I will share you this file also. So if you observe minutely on your screen, you will get the picture of this very clear. So if successive approximation is clear to you, shall we go with another type of ADC? It is delta sigma ADC. Now, as the name suggests, there are two names, delta and sigma. This is called delta and this is called sigma. And what is delta? Delta, these are Greek notations. Basically, delta represents the difference or change and sigma represents the summation. That is, we use this sign for summation. So this is the combination of these two, difference and summation. Now, in some of the books, it is written as sigma delta ADC. In some of the books, it is written as delta sigma ADC. So whichever you use, delta sigma or sigma delta, both are same. So what it does basically, in delta sigma converter, the analog input voltage signal is connected to the input of an integrator. You have one integrator as shown here. This is your integrator. When you connect the capacitor in feedback loop and resistor is in the input loop, then this forms the integrator circuit. RC is the charging time of this particular, and this input is given to the integrator. This is telling you this. So from diagram you can confirm that V in is applied to the integrator. Now integrator means what? It produces summation. So it producing a voltage rate of change or slope at the output corresponding to the input magnitude. So this ramping voltage is then compared against the ground potential 0 volt. So from why it is compared to the 0 volt? Because you have given the other input as 0. So this comparison, this integrator output is comparing with the 0 volt. The output of this integrator is given to one terminal of this comparator and the other terminal is grounded. So now output of Vin is applied to the integrator. This particular is available at the output after integration. You are comparing this with the 0 volt and the output of this particular comparator is given to the D flip-flop. You must have studied D flip-flop. If your output is high, accordingly, if your input is high, accordingly the output signal will be high. If your input is low, accordingly the output signal Q will change. So this is given to the D flip-flop. Now D flip-flop output is again given to one of the comparator where your another some reference voltage is attached and the output of the D2A converter, D flip-flop is given. So when these two signals are compared, then just a moment. Just excuse me for a minute. Yeah, sorry. So we were talking about this. So what is how it works? Now, where you give your input voltage to the integrator, the output of the integrator is given to the comparator, which the other input is grounded, that is 0, and this particular input is compared with the 0. Whatever may be your output of this comparator, it is given to the input of the D flip-flop. And depending upon your input of the D flip-flop, the output of the D flip-flop will be changing. And this output of the D flip-flop is in the form of pulses, high or low. So whatever may be, if it is high, high will be fed to this comparator input. If it is low, then low will be fed to this another comparator. And the other input of this comparator is given as some V voltage and some voltage with the help of some potential divider. So it is fixed voltage. So you are comparing with this particular output, and the output of this comparator is again given to the input of this integrator. So your V in, and again this output from this comparator is given to the integrator. So how it works basically, if you can see from the diagram. So suppose if you are applying your input as a 0 volt, let's say this line is 0 volt. Your input is 0 volt, V in is 0 volt. Then what will be the output of the comparator? The output of the comparator will be, integrator output will be like this. Because your V in is 0. So when V in is 0, this will be compared with 0. The integrator output will be 0 and your D flip-flop output will be this input will be 0, and accordingly your Q output will be changing, and this output is given to again to the integrator. So when you observe minutely this particular circuit, your integrator, if your input voltage is 0 volt analog input is applied, and then your integrator output will be like this. It will go half below 0 line and half below upper line, because it is having both the polarities. So in this particular case, when your input voltage is 0 and analog voltage is 0 under test, then how will be the output? Whenever this is from this integrator output grows from 0 to high, the level will be 0. Whenever this integrator output goes from high to 0, then the level will be 1. So this is your flip-flop output, D flip-flop output. So when from this particular diagram, it is observed that when your analog input is 0, your D flip-flop output is exactly symmetrical, 0 1 0 1 0 1 0 1. But now let's see the case of small negative analog input. It is not 0, but it is some small negative value. It is not exactly the it is some value, but it is not 0, but it is some small analog negative value. So in this case, the comparator output will not be in the center of this particular line. It will be first, like it will go, because your input is smaller, so it will not go to the high level. It will go till the level of your small negative input, and then it will come down. Then again the outputs will be given, and you will get this type of integrator output. And if you see the corresponding D flip-flop output, then it will be like this. From 0 to, you know that from 0 to this high, it will be 0, and from high to low, it will be 1. So if you observe this, this is 0, this is 1 0 1 0, and this remains for smaller time, and then your 1 1 will be here, then 0 0 will be here, 1 0 will be here, 1 0 will be here. So when your pattern is like this, it shows that your applied analog input voltage, the digital pattern is like this. It tells you that your analog, you have applied small negative analog input. Now see if medium negative analog input is applied. When you apply medium negative analog input, then somewhat your integrated output is like this. Now here in this case, when this thing was small, this was 0 1 0 1 0. But when this is medium, it is only 0 1 0. This has reduced. The symmetry has reduced, and it started with 0 1 1, then 0 1 0, like this. If you apply large negative analog input, then it will be again reduced, and you will get like this. If you apply some positive voltage, then this will be reversed. So depending upon what input you are applying, your integrator output will change. And because your integrator output is changed, and that integrator output is given via this comparator to the D flip-flop, your Q output will change, and the Q output is looking like this. And this you are feeding it to the, this is your output. This is called the digital output. This particular sequence is called the digital output. So it will give you the sequence 0 1 0 1 0 0. This is corresponding to your digital applied analog input. So this is how your delta sigma is working. Why it is called as delta sigma? Because somewhere you are taking summation at this integrated part, somewhere you are taking differentiation. So it is called as sigma delta ADC. And wherever this particular summation, wherever this particular comparison is stopping, this particular output is referred to as the valid digital output for this particular in data. So if you go through this particular minutely, this particular waveforms minutely, first you try to apply some small negative input and try to see how this particular circuit works. Then you will get the output of the integrator like this compared to the 0 volt. And accordingly, your D flip-flop output will be like this. So this is your sequence of digital data, which is for that particular applied negative or positive input, whichever it is. So this is what we have taken. And the link also I have shared. You can see the animations also. And if you have any doubts, you can ask. Otherwise, we will take some questions. If you have, let me ask you, what is the significance of number of bits in ADC and DAC? Can anybody answer? What is the significance of number of bits in ADC and DAC? Is this screen visible? What is there in the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, I have shared another file. It is some PDF file available on the net. I like this, so I just wanted to share it. What is there on the screen? First line, can you read? It just ensures me that whatever I have shared is proper material. What is the first?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Interfacing with the analog world.
Yeah, okay. Unit 7, interfacing with the analog world. So just we have seen the data which I have shared you, that is from another file. Here just we will see some problems. Let's say problem 1, 5-bit DAC has a current output for a digital input of 101000. Now 5-bit, that means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And output current of 10 milliampere is produced. What will I outweigh for a digital input of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? This is your digital input. For a digital input of this 10 is extra over here. This is by mistake. Some that in PDF itself it is some mistake. So what is it telling you? That you have been given with 5-bit DAC, D2A converter, and it is telling you that for digital input of 10100, 5-bit means it should be 5 bits. Here it is 6-bit. The last bit is by mistake. So 10100 is your digital input, and for that your current output is 10 milliampere. It is telling you that this is the specification of this particular D2A converter. Then what will be I output when for your digital data 1101101? So how will you calculate? The digital input is 10100 is equal to decimal value. If you calculate the decimal value for this, it will come out to be 20, isn't it? If you, what is the digital value or decimal value for 10100? How do you calculate the decimal value? How do you calculate the decimal value? It is 2 raised to 0. It is 2 raised to 0. 2 raised to 1 multiplied by 0. It is 2 raised to 1, 2 raised to 2, 2 raised to 3, and 2 raised to 4. And then you will multiply by the corresponding weight. So 2 raised to 4 multiplied by 1 means it is, how much it is? 16. 16 plus this is 2 raised to 2, that is 4. 16 plus 4 is how much? 20. So digital value for this particular digital input is decimal 20. And for decimal 20, what is the I output given here? 10 milliampere. So it is it is a proportion. For 20, your current output is 10 milliampere. Now what you want, the proportionality factor is how much now? 10 milliampere divided by 20, that is 0.5. This is your proportionality factor. So we can find for digital inputs such as 11101. So what is the digital, the decimal value for this 11101? It is decimal value is 29. So what will be your I output? Decimal value multiplied by the proportionality factor, that is 0.5. Proportionality factor we got from the given data. So it will be 29 multiplied by 0.5, that is 14.5 milliampere. So is it clear? Is this sum clear?
Yes, ma'am.
How do you get? You calculate the decimal value for this particular digital data, and that is corresponding to 10 milliampere. So what will be your proportionality factor? 10 milliampere divided by this decimal value. So it is 0.5. Now what is asked to you? Asked to you is 11101. So what will be the decimal value for this? It is 29. And what is your proportionality factor? It is in proportion, so it will not going to change. So 29 multiplied by 0.5. So the output of the D2A converter will be 14.5 milliampere for 11101. So if it is clear, then we will go further. This I will put in chat box. So can you find out this? What is the largest value of output from an 8-bit D2A converter that produces 1 volt for a digital input of 00110010? 8-bit converter, so this bit should be 8. 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And for this particular digital input, your output of D2A converter is 1 volt. So what will be the maximum value? Maximum value means, largest value means for 1 digital data. So how will you calculate it?
One volt divided by 255.
255. Why? Because it should not be 255. See, your digital input is given as 00110010. That means what is the decimal value for this? Decimal value for this, if you calculate, it comes out to be 50. The decimal value for this particular digital data comes out to be 50. So your 1 volt is corresponding to 50 with some proportionality constant. So what is that proportionality constant? 1 volt divided by 50, because it is, this digital value is 50. Its decimal value is 50. So how much K comes out to be? K comes out to be 20 millivolt. So your proportionality factor is 20 millivolt. Now 20 millivolt, and what is the maximum output of 8-bit D2A converter? It is 111111, that is 255. So 255 multiplied by 20 millivolt, which is your proportionality factor. So what is your output? Maximum output is 5.10 volt. Understood? First, with the help of given data, you have to find out the proportionality factor. Once you find out the proportionality factor, then whatever may be the value given, you just have to multiply it by that proportionality factor and you will get the output. So next we'll see one example. 5-bit D2A converter produces V output as 0.2 volt for a digital input of 0001. 5-bit means 103, 4. 1 0 is missing over here, I suppose. Find the value of V output for an input of 1111, that is maximum input it is asking. So obviously 0.2 volt is the weight of the LSB. Thus, it is 0001. 5 bits are there, 10 is missing over here. So the weights of the other bits must be 0.4 because it is D2A converter, 0.8, 1.6, 3.2 respectively, because one LSB is given as 0.2. So it is obvious that for next it will be 0.4, double than that. For next it will be 0.8, because we have seen in weighted or R2R ladder D2A converters, it is just by 1 bit, it is just going on doubling respectively. So for a digital input of 1111, then the value of V output will be, for this it is 3.2, for this it is 1.6, 0.8 plus 0.4 plus 0.2. So it is simply 6.2 volt. If you understood this, if you do not understand this, then you can go with this, the same procedure. What will be the proportionality factor for this? First, you have to calculate the digital decimal value for this. So decimal value for this is 1. 1 only. So decimal value is 1 and your V output is 0.2. So what will be the proportionality factor?
0.2, ma'am.
What is that? 1 divided by 0.2. 1 divided by 0.2 it is, isn't it? Proportionality factor will be your output voltage multiplied by, divided by the decimal value. So decimal value is 1. Decimal value is 1. So it will be 0.2. Yes, good. So 0.2 you got, 0.2. So you have to find out for 1 1 1 1 1 1. So what is the corresponding this decimal value for this 1 1 1 1? I think it is 32. Is it 32? What is the corresponding decimal value for 1 1 1 1 1?
31.
31. Yeah. So 31 multiplied by, what is your proportionality constant factor?
0.2.
So calculate 31 multiplied by 0.2. How much it will be?
15.5, ma'am.
No, 31 multiplied by 0.2 will be 6.2.
6.2, ma'am. 6.2.
Yeah. So same you are getting over here. Here they have applied another method, just a little different method. They have used the method of weighted R to R ladder or weighted binary digital to analog converter. But we can go with the previous methods by finding out the proportionality factor. By known input, we find out the proportionality factor, and that proportionality factor we applied to unknown input data. So this is how you calculate. Now let me I will share these examples in chat box. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Because if I share this PDF, then you will get the answers ready. Then you may not be able to calculate by yourself. Yeah. So problem 1. Copy. This I will copy in chat box. So I have copied the problem also. So can you see this particular solved example?
Yes, ma'am.
So if this solved example, if you can copy this particular example, I will give you the problems, another problem, so that you can refer this particular problem and you can solve the other problems. This will be your assignment. So I have shared the problem number 2. Now I will share problem number . Yes, I have shared the problem number 3 also in chat box. I have shared problem number 4 also in chat box. Problem number 5 also I have shared. And Yeah, Prakhar has raised the hand. Prakhar, what is your problem? So I have given you the questions for assignments in chat box. Yeah, Prakhar, please.
One mistake was
Okay, no problem. So can you see these particular questions in chat box? Can you all take down these particular questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, okay. Or what I can do, I can take this particular in one Word file. Copy. File new. Create. File save as assignment file. I will give you this file as assignment file. File save as assignment on DAC. Assignment. Okay. So you start writing your attendance in chat box. And I have given you the, oh no, that I have taken complete D2 converter. So you have to do this assignment. 5 questions of 5, or I don't remember, 5 or 6 questions are there based on, and one solution I have provided you for one particular question so that you can have reference for understanding it.
Lakhs of water molecules along the line side by side, which comes around only 1 millimeter. Throughout our life, average life 68 years, for 68 years.
So has everybody has given the attendance? Yeah, any problem? Somebody's mic is on. So if everybody has given the attendance, let's close this meeting.